Hey guys, here's a pretty cool fan I'm happy to have in my collection. This is a Carroway 52-inch spinner style ceiling fan. You don't see too many 52-inch spinners that often. This is pretty much the big brother to my little 36-inch Carroway. I haven't filmed that one for a couple years now. But yeah, unlike that one, this was used when I picked it up. And I don't know what kind of life this thing led, but it was in pretty rough shape when I got it. I cleaned it up and had to replace the pull chain, but I kind of screwed that up, and let me demonstrate for you. Yeah. So this will do low, medium, high through the speeds versus the original way of high, medium, low. Only because when I replaced the chain, I had forgotten which wires went to where on the last chain. So I pretty much just guessed until I got a consistent pattern of low, medium, high. I didn't feel like changing it because I like it this way. It kind of makes it a little more unique. Yeah, because the last chain, whatever that little spring or whatever that's inside the pull chain was broken. So you'd pull it out, but it would stay out. It was pretty bad. Also, the way this mounts, it uses a rod and pin, kind of like an original, except it's more like the, let's see here. Kind of more like, I really can't name a good fan right now, but it doesn't use one big grommet. It uses two little grommets to kind of balance in between the J-hook style bracket. And those rubber pieces don't exist anymore. So this will make some weird squeakings and rattlings on high speed. On low, it's almost completely silent. I'm impressed with the bearings on the fan, though, because usually the bearings on these Carroways and View fans are terrible. My new in-box 36-inch one, those bearings are already destroyed. This one, though, that's the last thing I expected from it. I'm getting a good low, and I'm getting a good breeze here on low, too. I can tell there's a good amount of air moving. Yeah, for 52-inch spinners, I don't have too many I can compare this with. And honestly, the only one I can name off the top of my head is my 52-inch Newtone Slimline. I haven't tested that thing in a while. Now I want to bring it out and hang it. But I want to say this is a more powerful fan than that one. The motor on this thing is kind of noisy. You can definitely hear a hum from it. Not much you can really do about that, unfortunately. But I'm getting a great breeze on medium, too. This moves a good amount of air. I dare say a great amount of air. You can see one of the blades is pretty badly out of whack. Excuse me. It's kind of hard to bend these brackets back. I'm usually pretty lazy and don't like to do that, just because I'm paranoid of breaking one. Although most fans can usually handle it, but even so. This also had a system where Carroway, on the top of the motor, they labeled each spot where you put the blades on with the letters A, B, C, and D. And they did the same thing with the blades. I would have guessed that they tried to balance it at the factory, and when they got that perfect balance of blades, they marked them out, and then when you shipped it out to the customer, I imagine that they hoped that you would have followed that and hung the blades on correctly. That would be my guess. So I thought it was something pretty cool that they did. I don't know of any other company that really did that. And let's move it to high, shall we? This is where things are about to get noisy. This fan has some heft to it as well, so the wobble isn't as bad as I would have thought it is, especially with that blade. That doesn't mean it doesn't wobble, though, as you can see. On high, you can notice there is a hint of bearing noise, though, but not as bad as I would have thought when I picked the fan up. It's behaving on camera. It's not I'm not hearing it make any noises. That's pretty impressive. Ah, I spoke too soon. Yeah, that's the sound of the canopy rubbing on the box. Yeah, it's not scary sounding at all. But it's a very good breeze from this fan. This is quite a powerful fan. I would totally make this a bedroom fan if not for that little issue. Although that's probably pretty fixable. I could probably figure out some way to make it quieter. Let's do spin down. Yeah, everything is backwards on this fan. The pull chain speeds and the reverse switch. Like I said, it led a rough life. So, funny enough, I have had only one other encounter with this fan in my life. My college actually had one of these in the administrative building. So you'll remember I filmed those Big A fans, the Haikus and the ISIS model fans, and as well as the Contec and vintage can arms that I thought were Emerson Tats. There was another fan that I didn't get to film just because it was too high of a too high traffic area, and it's not the best place you want to put on camera. And they happened to have one of these. It was hanging through a drop ceiling, canopy and all, so it looked a little sketchy at first, but it was on a pretty solid beam right above the ceiling. The fan was only ever on reverse and low speed, but they used it pretty commonly, and they said that was one of the only fans they wanted to keep, so I was not able to get it, unfortunately. However, this is pretty much the exact same fan. And, yeah. So I was lucky to get it one way or another. My favorite thing about this fan are those brackets. Very elaborate, very pretty brackets. Normally I warm up fans before I film them. So spin down's not as good as it could be, but I could be mistaken. I'm not timing it right now, so I wouldn't know. And there we go. All right, now 0 to high, and we'll wrap this up. Yeah, it's not the fastest thing, but it's only because of those big heavy blades and that thick motor. But it's definitely a good fan. This is honestly better than the 36-inch counterpart. And like I said, I'd totally make it a bedroom fan if not for the fact it's a little rattly. But other than that, there you have it. The 52-inch Carroway spinner. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day.